Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Bessie Munyori. My god, I've missed you guys. I've missed saying that. If you're new here, which I know most of you are gonna be new, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you for clicking on this video, and don't forget to hit the notification button so you don't miss another episode. If you're not new here, if you're coming back for the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, eighth, 10th time, I welcome again. I know I've been lost and I can explain. I know you're like, girl, where have you been? But I can explain, guys. So according to the thumbnail, I'm just going to be talking about the culture shocks that I experienced moving to Australia as an international student. And yay, guys, I moved to Australia finally about 6 months ago, and it's been a roller coaster of emotions. It's been a journey, like it's been everything in between, joy, sadness, just anxiety. But I'm here to talk to you about the few things that I've experienced here. So if you want to know about experiences of an international student to Australia, this is the place to be. I'm going to be talking about all that here. And yeah, this channel is just going to involve a lot of information about coming here, settling in, and yeah, guys, so that's what I've been up to. I know life has been happening, and sometimes we just have to put a pause on some things and try to figure out things, because I was also trying to figure out the direction that I wanted this channel to take. And guys, since I've figured that out, there's no stopping now. I know I've said that a couple of times, but hey, here we are. So I'm just going to dive right into it. Don't worry about my eye movement. I have some notes here because I don't want to be out of topic. So I'm just going to be talking about the few things that I've experienced coming here as an international student. So let's dive into it. So one of the things that shocked me when I came here was the transport system. I know most of you who have come here have experienced the same. Like, the transport system is efficient, but it can be frustrating at times, especially when you're new. Because unlike in our country where you can stand at any bus stop and get a bus going to any direction, here it's not the same. You need to stand at a designated bus stop, and you need to check your bus online on the map, like on the Maps app or another app called I don't remember. Yeah, you need to key in your destination in your map, and then it's gonna show you the option for the trains, the option for the buses, the option for walking. So if you want to go, let's say, this direction, you need to go check which bus is going to that direction, and you need to stand at that bus stop. Don't go standing opposite, because it's not gonna wait for you. If the driver doesn't see anyone at the bus stop, they just go. And if they pass you, they don't start coming back to look for you, like in my country. Yeah, so it was like so crazy, because once you miss the bus says come with time. If the map says it will come at 10:20, trust me, the bus will be there at 10:20, latest 10:25. And if you miss that bus, you have to wait like another 20 minutes for the next bus to come. So guys, make sure you're checking your bus stops well. Also, trains have platforms, like in the movies, guys. You could be going to a certain direction, so you need to check on your map, guys. Everything is on the map. You need to check on your map which train is going to a certain direction, and you need to stand on that particular platform. The reason why you need to be careful with this is because you could be in a station where there are like over 20 platforms. So if you stand on the wrong platform, you're going to get into the wrong train. So you need to check where am I going, which train is going that way. So I'm going to stand on this platform. Platform is like a station where the train will pass, guys. I know you're like, what do you mean platform? Yeah, so a platform is like a stage where the train will pass, so you need to stand at the right platform. So another thing I forgot to mention, when you're entering the bus or the train, you don't need a friend of mine was making me laugh. She wanted to give the driver fare, cash for fare. It doesn't work like that, guys. Here there's a card called Opal card. I'm sorry, I lost mine. I could have showed you. You get into the train or the bus, you tap in, you get out, you tap out. So that's how they cut the fare. So you need to load your opal card when you come here. Make sure the person who picks you or the person who hosts you, make sure you're settled in with all those little things. The opal card is just a card where you load some cash and you use it as your fare. Basically, you don't need to carry cash around with the drivers. It doesn't work like that. Okay, so another thing is just make sure your phone never goes off, because if your phone goes off and you're new here, you've not crammed the ways, and I'm telling you here, it's everything is just like interconnected and everything kind of looks the same. So if you think you have crammed this road, you might come back tomorrow and you're like, it doesn't look the same. So make sure your phone never goes off, because that's your lifeline, that's your maps, that's your direction, that's your money, that's your everything. So guys, that was a crazy thing that I experienced here. I hope I've not left something out. Yeah, the other thing that shocked me when I came here is a car is a necessity here. It's not a luxury. You see the way in the movies or in documentaries people say, I was so poor, I used to sleep in my car. You're like, bro, you were poor, you had a car, how could you be so poor? Here a car is like a phone. You need a car to go along, like, because like I said, transport is crazy. There's no cars moving in and out all the time, so you need a car. And there's a time I used to work in a suburb, that some suburbs, especially the rich suburbs, they don't have trains and buses operating after some time, guys. So if you don't have a car, you're going to suffer. I used to suffer, man. So a car here is a necessity. Just put that in your mind when you're coming. I know you just want to land, and maybe you just have enough money to pay your school fees, you don't have money for a car yet, but just put in your mind that after some time I'm gonna need a car, because even jobs, there's no way you're gonna get a stable job without a car, guys. So just make sure when you come here, you settle in, just do some feed jobs here and there, save some money, and then you can buy a cheap car. And like I say, do not let your phone go off, okay? Because you use it for maps. And then guys, I need to tell you this: if you want to come here, please learn how to drive back in your country. Learn the rules of the road, learn how to drive, learn how to control a car. Like, someone told me this, but I did not take it seriously. And when I came here, I really suffered, because I had to take lessons, and driving lessons per hour is like $60, guys. These guys are not even playing with you. It's $60, and you need a couple of lessons just so that you can get used to the roads here. So guys, if you get a chance at home, please practice driving. Practice, because the roads here are crazy and it's easy to cause an accident if you don't know how to drive. So guys, I insist, drive. Learn how to drive, learn the rules of the road, period. So the other culture shock is here you do your own things by yourself. Like, you fuel your own car. When you go to the petrol station, there's no one waiting for you to fuel your car. Like, you see back in my country, when you get into a petrol station, there's someone waiting for you there. They're gonna fuel your car. You don't get out of your car. Here it doesn't work the same. Here you come into the petrol station, you put off your car, you come out, you go fuel your car, you go into the convenience store, you pay. Guys, in Imaju, so most of the things you've been seeing in the movies, it's how it's happening. You fuel your own car. When you're in a supermarket, you do self-checkout. Of course, there's a few people there just to help you in case you need anything, but most people prefer to self-checkout. Self-checkout is where you just take your items, you go scan them by yourself, you pay by yourself. No one is there to like ask you to pay, like helping you, but there are a few people, yeah. But I know it can be very crazy and overwhelming and intimidating at first when you come, because you're like, I'm not trying to make a fool out of myself, like yeah. So guys, that's how it works here. You do self-checkout, you fuel your own car, you basically just do your own stuff. Like, no one is here just waiting to be given 100 bob to do something, like back in my country. Yeah, so the other thing that shocked me here is you rarely see people walking, especially in the suburbs, unless you live in a city or a town. Like, I was like, where's everyone? You just see cars parked on the street, but you don't see people. And that's another thing. Like, when you come, you just see cars parked on the street. Here we do street parking. I was like, is there an event happening here? Why are there so many cars? But that's just how it works here. We do street parking, and you don't see people walking in the suburbs, because of course, like, most people have their own car, so they're not gonna be walking, they'll be driving. Also, if unless you live near a mall, if you want to see people, just go to a mall. And it's crazy because even though you see people, they are not in your business. Everyone is just minding their own business. Everyone is doing whatever they came to do. Everyone is just fake smiling at you like I don't like that thing. Like, please, we don't have to smile, we don't have to fake smile, we don't have to do this. Like, it's okay, we don't have to pretend. Okay, so that's the thing here. Like, people really just are in their heads. Even I don't know my neighbors. Like, I live in a share house, I don't know my neighbors, because I'm in at work, they come, they sleep. Like, I don't know my neighbors. They're not even Kenyan, they're not even, like, guys, that's just, you see the way in Kenya there's so much small talk, people want to be in your business. Here it's not like that. Like, you could be sick in your house and no one will know. So if you're here, just make sure you have a community, you have some friends who know where you live, so that, like, they can check up on you every time, every now and then, guys. So yeah, that's the other thing that was shocking me here, because social life can be so dead. Nightlife here is dead. Like, if you're in Kenya and you're planning to come here, please rave. That's the thing I can tell you to do. Please rave, because when you come here, you are gonna need to chill in your house, because there's nothing to do. Not like there's nothing to do, but the things you're used to doing at home, they're not with the same intensity here. And then, like, markets close really early. You see the way in Kenya, like, the malls are operating till midnight. Here by 8:30 you're like, things are not operational. So that's crazy, guys. It was one of the things that really shocked me. The other culture shock that I experienced was, it can get really lonely and homesick. Like, my god, I know back at home when you're about to travel, you're like, homesick, lonely, I just want to go, I just want to learn, I just want to experience a whole new country. But guys, trust me, when the anxiety dies down, when the excitement dies down, it hits you like, damn, I'm 1,000 miles, like thousands of miles away from my people. I'm thousands of miles away from my family, from my friends. Some of you even leave your partner, some of you leave your children. Like, you are so away from your people. And there's the time difference, so you can talk to them anytime you want. When you're awake, they're asleep. When they're asleep, you're awake. Like, it's crazy. So guys, it can get really lonely. And that's the other thing here, because it's also hard to, like, make friends, to be in relationships here. You know, people just think, when I go there, I'm just gonna bag this white man. Guys, it don't work like that, okay? Like I said, everyone is just in their business. Everyone just minds their own business. So even if you're tripping on the road, people could just be passing you by, like girl, like, what are you doing? Like, no one is there to, like, help you or ask you what's wrong. That's why mental health here is really crazy. Like, people really struggle with mental health, especially if you don't have a community, if you don't have friends checking up on you, or people you hang out with often. Your mental health can really suffer. So guys, I know some of us want to travel to this new place so that you can run away from all the shit back at home, or all the shit in your head. But trust me, the shit in your head back at home, you're still gonna carry it here. So make sure you keep your affairs right, solve your affairs. Make sure you're not carrying a lot of baggage. Make sure you're not carrying just a lot of stuff, because when you come here, it's gonna really hit you, guys. That's what I said. Even if you live in a share house, like, there's a time I used to live in a share house with Kenyans, but you can find, like, by the time you're waking up, everyone has gone to work, because people went to work maybe by 4 a.m. By the time you're waking up, no one is in the house. And you start asking yourself, my God, failure. Am I the only one who was not going to work? Especially when you're new, of course you don't have work. So it can get really crazy. Like, you're in a share house, but you don't even see your housemates, because by the time they're coming, maybe you're asleep. By the time they're leaving, you're still asleep. By the time they're in the house, maybe you're out. Like, it can get, like, people are just in their own world. People are just on autopilot. Work, come home, sleep, cook, come home, eat, sleep. Yeah, you don't get to catch up after work. You see, there in Kenya, like, we can say, let's go catch up for a drink after work. There's no such thing. Like, people are just so focused on their own things, and people are just dealing with their own things. So even on the trains or the buses, people are literally on their phones like 24/7. It can be really frustrating. You see the way in our country we try to make some small talk. Here it doesn't work like that. Like, I insist, everyone just be minding their own business. So the other thing that culture shocked me was you need to learn just some extra skills. Like, you see the way I said you do stuff by yourself. Here you need to learn stuff like making your own hair, especially for African women. It's crazy because I'm not about to go make my braids with $200. There's a time I went to retouch my sister locks and it was $300. I was like, child, do you want to finish me? I'm just came here, $300, especially when you're in that stage of still converting dollars into your Kenyan money or Ugandan money or whatever money. It really shocks you. You're like, damn. So at some point I just had to learn how to do it by myself. I had to learn how to retouch my sister locks, and I'm glad I learned because it saves me a lot of money and I have a lot of free time sometimes, so I just do it by myself. So guys, if you're planning on coming, just make sure you put on a sustainable hairstyle. I'm not advertising the sister locks, but they're really nice. If you just want to avoid the struggle of every time you're going to spend $200 on braids, every 3 weeks you're going to do braids, you need to put like dreadlocks or sister locks. And if you want to be retouched, I'm here, I can do it for some money, of course. Yeah, so guys, you need to learn how to do your hair. Even when you're back in your country, learn how to maybe do braids, so that when you come here you can do it for people and they pay you. So yeah, you need to learn how to do skills. The other thing was here we don't wear official clothes going for interviews, although most of the jobs that international students are just casual. So you see that in Kenya you have to be dressed a certain way. You have to be scared. If you don't dress a certain way, you're going to fail an interview. It doesn't work like that here. Like, you could just go today to a store and ask for work and report the same day. Like, they don't care about all those stuff. But of course, corporate jobs, they need you to look some type of way. But right now, I'm not doing any corporate job because I'm studying. And yeah, jobs that international students do are just different. And I'm going to talk about that in another video. So the other culture shock that shocked me, it like hit me, was the housing situation in Australia is a mess. To say the least, guys. I know you're wondering, Australia is $1 billion economy. How are they struggling with houses? Even me, I don't know. I'm usually wondering every day, like, guys, can't you just build houses? I mean, there's space. Why can't you just build houses? Like, rent here is crazy. First, when I moved in here into that share house, where it was a 5-bedroom house, so each room has 2 beds, so you have a roommate. It was $190 per week, a week, guys. Hey, my goodness. And yeah, so where I'm currently living right now is $240 a week, guys. So that's close to $1,000 a month. Oh my goodness. If I was paying that kind of money in my country, I would be living lavish, bro. So yeah, it's crazy. The housing situation here is crazy and it's expensive. And you could think that because you're paying all that money, you have your own house. It doesn't work like that. you just rent out a room, and sometimes you have to share with a roommate and still be paying all that money. So guys, it's quite expensive. If you're coming, just make sure you have a lot of pocket money just for the few, like 2 first months, 3 first months before you settle in and get a job. Housing situation here is crazy, because even if you have that money, you could still lack a house. It's not like the way in Nairobi. If I want to move today, I'm gonna go and find a house today and move by evening. Here it doesn't work like that. There's a shortage of houses, and even if you find that house, you have to apply online and you have to go for inspection. And when you go for inspection, you find like there are more 10 people who are inspecting that house, so sometimes you might not even get it. Oh my god, it's crazy, guys. So the housing situation here is crazy. It's expensive, and yeah, when you're coming, the reason why I moved is the share house was nice. I lived with Kenyans, my fellow Kenyans. You feel at home, you feel like I'm around my people. But the share house is crazy because not everyone runs things the way you want to run them. People are gonna cook everything they wanna cook, and they're gonna leave utensils, a heap of utensils in the sink. So when you're coming to cook, there's no utensils. And you see about share houses, you share the common rooms, you share the sitting room, you share the kitchen, and it has like 3 bathrooms. So you share the bathrooms with like 2 other people or 1 other person. Yeah, so someone you wash the toilet. The next day you're going to the bathroom. My god, it looks a mess. The next day you're going to the laundry room. It looks a mess. My god, like, can we just live like normal human beings? Like, why are we living like Neanderthals, or what were they called? Yeah, so guys, that's just one of the reasons that I moved. It was kind of frustrating, especially if you're just used to keeping your space a certain way. It can get really frustrating when you just find you're the only one doing the stuff. You're the only one cleaning, you're the only one taking the trash out, you're the only one minding the hygiene of the place. So if you come, I know it's crazy, but you're gonna have to handle it for a while before you can settle in and get some good money and you can move to a better place. So yeah, that's what happens. The housing situation here, I repeat, is crazy. The other thing that shocked me was we don't lock our doors. This was funny because when I came the first night, I was like, are you sure you want me to sleep? Because I can't sleep when the door is unlocked. Because you know, in our country we're used to like lock all doors, like lock with all the locks, because of course there's a lot of theft going on, there's a lot of just malice going on. But here we don't lock our doors, especially if you live in a share house like the one I used to live. Right now I can lock my room because it's just me accessing it, I can lock it. But when we used to live in that share house, you don't lock like the main door, even if it's at night, because you don't know when your housemates are gonna be coming back from work or from seeing their friends or from wherever. So the only place you can lock maybe is your room, like your room, and you have to make sure your roommate has a key. Sometimes I didn't even used to lock, because also here there's no all that theft. Like, people are just in their business. There's no one trying to get into your room or steal something. But of course, if you have trust issues, you need to lock, because it's not everyone around you that has the best intentions, you know. So we don't lock our rooms, and it was crazy and scary for me at first, because you know, I think it's a difference of scarcity. Like, when the place has a lot of scarcity, that's when there's a lot of theft, that's when there's a lot of criminal activity. But here, like, I'm not trying to steal anything from you. Like, what could I possibly steal, bro? Yeah, so that's why we don't lock our doors. But of course, if you get your own room, you can lock it. So the other thing, I know I mentioned the housing is expensive, but did I mention like the general lifestyle here is expensive? Hey, my god. But the good thing with here, you can make money easily if you're hardworking and you're ambitious and you're aggressive. Like, the main thing is to be aggressive and hardworking. Don't choose jobs. I'm going to talk about the jobs that international students do in another video. But here, you don't come with the mentality that, oh, I can do that job, I can do that job, I can do that job. You need to work, guys, because the bills are weekly. The rent is weekly. You need to eat weekly. You need to fuel your car weekly. You need to do all the things weekly. Like, hey, my God, you need to pay your phone bill. You need to pay your insurance. You need groceries. You need everything weekly. And of course, your parents back at home, unless you're from a well-off family, like really well-off, they're not trying to send you money from home here. You're the one actually to be sending money. Like, people think that when you're abroad, you should be the one sending money, which is it, because I'm not trying to be sending money from my country. So the lifestyle here is expensive. Like, I'm going to show you how much $50 can buy for groceries. Sometimes it's not even enough, guys. So the other thing about here, since it's so expensive, you can just find yourself paying bills, and at the end of the day, you have not saved money, you have not invested any money. So you have to intentionally put it in your head that I need to put a certain amount away for my future self, because it can be just you're paying bills. Yes, you're making the money, but the bills are like they're waiting, like, yeah, I need you to pay, because hey, I'm telling you, yeah, you pay for everything. So if you can cut some costs, just cut them. Like, if you can make your own hair, you don't need to go to the salon. If you can squeeze in like some jobs, like babysitting or cleaning, don't choose work. Like, you need to just do work, because here it's easy to make money, guys, but it's also very expensive, and you can just find yourself not saving anything. So the other thing is there are so many expatriates. So Australia is a multicultural state. Like, you find Africans, Australians, Americans, Germans, Turkish, Lebanese, Arabs, there's Mexicans, there's all types of people. The only thing that makes me happy about this is I get to eat all types of food. I get to try different foods. I get to try like different things that I have seen in my country. Of course, I miss African food so much, but you also get to experience different stuff. I know you're like, oh, you also get to make different friends, but like I said, it's not easy here to make friends unless I'm just bad at making friends. But you can make different friends. Like, you can make Chinese friends, Asian friends. The problem is sometimes you might not always understand each other because of the language barrier. So that's another thing, that it's a multicultural state, so there's just so many expatriates here. So the other thing that shocked me is we do card payments everywhere. Like, you rarely find cash payments. I actually rarely have cash on me, but yeah, you just pay with a card. Like, everywhere you're just tapping. And the overthinker in me sometimes is like, what if the government and the financial institutions are taken over by like some crazy people? And then like they lock all our cards. What are we gonna do? So you need to put some cash in your house. You need to stash some cash in your house. My friends, don't come looking for any cash under my mattress. That's not where I put it. Anyway, yeah, so we do card payments everywhere. If you go shopping, you just tap. It's very rare to just find cash. Yeah, so that's how it works here. The other thing, it's a good thing, is systems work here. Systems really work. Like, even if the tax you pay is a lot, like, my God, the tax here is crazy. But at least you see where it's going. It's not like in our country where there's so much corruption and you're just feeling like you're being used. But here systems work. Like, there's a designated day for litter collection. You don't see litter anywhere. The roads are good. Water and electricity never go off. Like, I've never experienced a blackout here. The transport is good. Like, if you call an ambulance, it will be here in like less than 20 minutes. If it's an emergency, that is. Yeah, so systems really work, and it's a really good thing, because we, from our countries, we need to adopt that lifestyle. We need to learn we need to see like what these guys are doing and actually adopt it, because guys, in my country you could get really frustrated because things don't work. Yeah, here if you call police, they will be there in like a jiffy. Yeah, that's why you hear sirens all the time. At first I used to wonder what's up with this place, like is there so much crime, but there's so much sirens, like you cannot go a day without hearing the sirens of the police. Like I don't know what they're usually doing, but systems work here. And yeah guys, those are just some of the few culture shocks that found me, that made me, that I met here. And it's been, that's what I say, it's been a journey of just settling in, of learning like the lifestyle here, of just adapting to the lifestyle here. And if you're an international student planning to come, I know this video is gonna be helpful to you. And if you're already here, just put in the comments the things that shocked you when you came here, because I know that I have not covered everything. But guys, I hope you enjoyed that video, and don't forget to comment, subscribe, share, hit the notification button so you don't miss another episode. And guys, I will see you next time. Bye.